These are some of our products. I mean, and a few that I help, like Chef Paul, who's the head instructor at our culinary school, do. Banana ketchup was something one of our students came up with, and they do it. And half of what we produce goes either back into a fund that we created through RC&D grant a number of years ago that keeps going. So when they need more jelly or more jars and more raw materials, they can buy Maui gold sugar and do it. So we've got a lot of different products. Actually, the best-selling ones that we have now at farmers markets or on local harvest is the jackfruit jerky. This one is just dried jackfruit, no sulfur, no chemicals, no nothing, and the loquat leaf tea. So I spent 6 years working in Japan and loquat, so that's a really special. But banana ketchup, I went to the local store and I bought like 9 gallons of vinegar. And Mel, who's the grocer, what the hell are you doing with all the vinegar? I said, I can make banana ketchup. Banana ketchup? Never heard of that. Mel, look around on here, you're the manager. There's Jufron's banana ketchup on the shelf that just happened to be behind him across from where the vinegar was. So you don't think in terms of that and marketing it with our local bananas or with some of the local sugars and other spices. We grow our own cinnamon and nutmeg and things to utilize in the different products, or sell at the farmer's market, or sell to our local wholesale. So it's kind of endless. But it's banana ketchup. If you go into Brazil, into a grocery store, you cannot find tomato ketchup. You can't find banana ketchup. It's all guava ketchup. How many guavas do you see falling along the side of the road here that are wasted? So there's lots of opportunities. I don't know, some of you might have seen the posters and these different cars that we produce that have been floating around for a while. If not, go to hawaiifruit.net and look at the posters that we produce. We have 6-1, this is an older one with a 38 inches, I think, and it has 160 different types of fruit. The one with 50 types of bananas now, and 161 different types of avocados, and I still get new chefs that come up and they say, I thought there were only 2 types of avocados, Florida and California. Well, we got 200 in Kona. I don't even know what you guys have on Maui. But, okay. So we want to give packaging. Look at different stuff. Look at, when you go into a store, look at packaging. Don't look at what's in it, just look at the styles and what's made. Look at, and then go back and look at what you want to sell, especially for you guys who are doing small farm stuff and have to deal with whatever you said. You look at these things and it's, would you buy it? Would you buy what you produce? When you eat it, would you, and you taste what you're making, would you eat it? Would you actually pay $5 for it? I mean, you have to figure really accurate cost of production for this. That's the one thing we learned from Kent, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. I got yelled at a lady at our farmer's market a few months back. She was selling 6 lemons for $1. And I said, you know, if you sell 6 lemons for $1, it's not really sustainable. It costs you 26 cents a lemon, you know, to produce 1 lemon based on $12 an hour labor, and you really make it hard for those of us doing full-time farming. She goes, what are you, the fruit police? Well, as a matter of fact, lady, she's now selling a quart for $1. So it's a little bit. But that's it. You have to know this. Ask a farmer here, how much do you pay yourself for farming? Doug? Never mind, I know better than to ask you. I seen your other truck. When he gets a new truck, you'll know he's starting to turn a profit. But that's it. You have to consider that. I mean, whether you were born and raised here, or whether you were a new farmer, or just like a lot of people raised their hands before, just getting into it, don't sell yourself short, you know, and don't undervalue what you produce. So, and think in terms of the design and labels and have fun with it. We just make them up. My granddaughter, who's 7, has made a couple of our labels and draw pictures. Think in terms of events. So we get this, it's called A1. It's label paper from Japan that really resists moisture. It's got a glass resin coating to it. It resists moisture. It takes about a year before it starts to fade. And it's just an inkjet paper. It cost $40 for about 8.5 by, well, A4 size, about 8.5 by 11 sheets. But we do a lot of these, you know, every year of the rabbit, next year it'll be 60, so it's year of the dragon again. And we have the Valentine's Day cards, special wedding things. This is the only sushi place in Tokyo that serves Kona coffee, you know, and so a lot of special labor. So think events, think just-in-time production. You know, yeah, I could produce 500 jars at a time, but if I produce 24 jars and sell those and label them, or I keep some separate so I can label them for special events that people want and call for. And so it's a whole different aspect to what you're marketing. It doesn't have to be the same. Okay. Yeah, I got ahead of it. So anyway, but this is the idea. Even for UH, CTAR is a pig out every year, so we still supply coffee, still get them coffee for the pig out sometimes. And obviously wedding things, or this is, you ever go to Tokyo, this is Akita sumo ryori, which is sumo food, and they Watanabe, great stuff. Call me for the end. So we also do crazy labels, right? So this was the idea of this alien embryos, just Watanabe and light syrup. So we wanted to see, we did a lot of market research. We did a farmer's market every Thursday or Friday for 4 years just to get data. We put these out. Kids would run up and see alien embryos. Mommy, I gotta have this, you know, because aliens or planets. Actually, when Dean Hashimoto used to have a jar on his desk, but it's another story. I don't know if he ate it. Maybe that's why he moved. So just think funny stuff. Look at magazines, communicate, you know, and start thinking out of the box. We also do these things, and you're welcome to use them on Hawaii FruitNet. I've got about 150 data sheets like this with nutritional values on different types of fruit. This is, we give them to grocery stores, and we convince the grocery stores to try and sell Jaboticaba or strawberry guava, sell them more unusual fruit that you're growing. And they can put it up because demographics have changed. A lot of people in the older stores here, they're operating on 30, 40-year-old demographics. Everybody got that out back. Well, I'm sorry, there's a lot of people who have only been here 3, 5, 10 years. And I had people come up to me and say, Ken, how come my guava's not sweet? So, oh, because it's lily koi. Or other times, they come, I get a call, you got to come over to my house. I mean, there's something wrong. These purple things are growing out of the side of the tree. I'm afraid I catch something. You caught Jaboticaba. So there's a lot of education that has to be done. And my classic example of what I think value added is how to make hoshigaki, dried persimmons. You got 5 persimmons, and we wholesale them maybe 25 cents a piece or 50 cents a piece. And so for 5 persimmons, it's at 50 cents a piece. It's terrible, man. 250, right? Okay. So for 250, we add a piece of string and this little thing on how to dry them, and put them in a plastic bag with the instructions, and that goes for $5. And you know that little piece of string and to print out this piece of paper didn't cost another $2.50. But you're adding value to the product that you produce. And we can't get enough of it. We have to plant more persimmon trees, basically. We have all these framed things that we do at shows that people have never seen that. We've had as many as 112 fruit on display at one time. And it's not easy to accumulate all that, but people are just, they don't realize that much exists here. And it does. Okay, we also try to get something special if you're going to do it. We take the big bamboo, cut it down, and we stuck the coffee bags inside the big bamboo, and then people had a pencil case or something long after the coffee was gone. Packaging, this is half a plastic grapefruit. You see the little ribs in there, like the sections. But this is what they package grapefruit jelly in Japan. You go and pull off the top and eat grapefruit jelly. But you can put it over there and it actually looks like grapefruit. Get it out of there. We have these little bento things for Valentine's Day that we put out or put fresh fruit in. My daughter When she was little, we used to make little origami boxes, put things in at farmers markets. I mean, you get very special black Suriname cherry in an origami box. Well, instead of, you know, a quarter for the Suriname cherry, now it's 50 cents because you get an origami box. That was her thing. Okay. More local. Local harvest again. When I got on this, there was really one other thing from Hawaii. Now there's a lot, but it lists farmers markets. It's not just a market for selling things. It lists farmers markets, CSAs, everything you want to know. You just put in your zip code where you're going to visit, and you find a list of things and events that are going on there. And some of our other websites. So Hawaii FruitNet looks like this. So when you click on these things, and it takes you to all sorts of other things. I've been on. First time I was online was 1969 when we made the first connection I was at the University of Chicago, I was at the University of Illinois, and we made the connection. So this is just like written in old original HTML code, so it doesn't have all the frames and bells and whistles, but all of this stuff is buried in there. You just have to go digging.